Really quick, before this episode gets started, I want to point out the fact that this is episode 2. Episode 1 was recorded back in June. It's December right now, it's back in June. And the only place you can see that one is on Anchor. Download Anchor and search me. I'm going to put the link in the description, actually, of the episode 1 of the podcast. But it's not going to be on YouTube. It's not going to be video format. We're going to start on YouTube. We're going to start with episode 2 and kind of climb that way. I know it's a little bit unsettling, a little bit unsatisfying, but it's what I'm going to do, and enjoy this piece. Okay, so I'm here. I am currently drawing. I'm not recording, though. I'm recording my voice, but I'm not recording any footage as far as whatever. And I do this from time to time where I draw without the pressure of, drawing behind the camera, because it takes away some of the pressure of, producing or needing to produce a good piece of art. And instead, just focusing on the lines, truly focusing on the drawing itself, and not really worrying about angles. You don't really have to worry about lighting. You just draw at your heart's content, at what's most comfortable. And it causes me to keep up with, it keeps me in tune with myself, if that makes sense. And it's really kind of difficult to explain unless you do the same thing or something similar. Whereas you're doing things for the spotlight, and then, let's reel it back a little bit, and instead of doing it for other people, do it for myself, because that's truly why I started, was for myself. And I'm talking about art, and I'm also talking about just anything that you may relate to. So, I'm sitting here enjoying a cup of coffee. It is 7:46 a.m. on a Tuesday, November. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so that. And again, I want to talk about life, really. I mean, every time I sit here and talk and get the itch to talk, I like to talk about my situation. I like to talk about, what I believe in. I like to talk about what my family's kind of doing, and that's just what I like to do. And so, and here we go. First of all, I plan on acknowledging this. I plan on actively working towards this, and I plan on fixing this, and I don't plan on milking any of this at all. And I'm talking about depression. I'm talking about the fact that I don't know, just the cold weather invites some sort of depressing vibe over me for some reason. And it happens almost every year. There's a couple of times a year that this type of thing happens. But right now it's kind of hitting me. This is the first time it's really hit me since I've been out of the Army. And I've only been out for 3 months, so naturally it's bound to happen sometime. But this being said, I am, again, actively working to make sure this is okay, and make sure I don't fall off the deep end, because that can and will happen if I neglect, mental health, if I neglect my health. So, I'm addressing it through voice, through video, through actions that include drawing, cleaning the house, and just these things help either keep my mind occupied away from it, or they help to get me out of that state of mind at that time. I mean, it's essentially the same thing, but my goal in life, the reason why I sit down and break out a camera or break out a voiceover and talk towards people, and is just to kind of relate to people, because I don't know, In the past, I've experienced some things that I felt as if I was alone, and I felt as if no one could ever relate to me. How in the world could anybody relate to this horrible situation that I'm dealing with? And of course, I'm talking about like when I was a teenager and all. And since then, I've learned that that's not even close to true. Everybody deals with depression in one form or another. Everyone deals with it slightly differently. Everyone has their own little battles, their own little struggles that they go through. And I just want people to know that, yeah, it sucks sometimes, but it's not the end of the world, because, you know, if I can do it, you can do it. Because we're all human in the end. We're all humans. We make mistakes every single day, and those mistakes impact other people in different ways, and they impact us in different ways. I'm being really general right now. For the last 5 minutes, I've been super general. Because I haven't really gotten to the root of the problem, you know? I haven't talked to a therapist. I haven't really talked to anyone professional. I haven't really talked to anybody at all, except for my wife, and she knows, she understands, and she's going through something really similar. And so we're both kind of, you know, genuinely battling this situation with every plan to get better, and that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it is. The cool thing, I try and look at some positives, especially in this little, you know, whatever. I try to look at things that are good in the world, and what's good that's going on in my life, and what do I have going for me, you know, instead of against me, because that can take over, you know, sitting here looking at all the negatives. What do I have going against me? But instead, what do I have going for me? And the fact that I'm living and breathing is number one. The fact that I'm alive, sitting here doing this, is the biggest reason to be grateful, the biggest reason to be positive and uplifting, and give yourself and others an opportunity to know who you are, and provide good in the world. That's the primary reason we're here, is to help one another. We're also here to work. We're here to produce things, make things, and we're also here to be nice and to just, you know, whatever your beliefs are. We are here to create, and we're here to share. And we're here to bond together in this world, in this universe, in this world of, like, you know, all this negativity. It's up to us. It's up to one another. It's up to us to band together and stick together in these hard times. So that's what I'm doing, essentially, in my own way. In today's modern era, is video and audio is the way to go as far as reaching out to people and connecting and you know, associating, you know, success nowadays. If you want to become a quote-unquote celebrity, it's not really being on the TV. It's not, you know, it's not a child getting on Disney Channel anymore, or, you know, whatever. The goal is to get noticed on TikTok right now, or, you know what I mean, like, you know, become Instagram famous and get 3, 4, 5,000 likes on each picture you post. And that's the new form of, like, more accessible quote unquote fame that people really gravitate towards nowadays. And I would be lying if I wasn't doing the same. But this is the definitive way, as of right now in 2019 going into 2020, that this is the way to communicate. It's through voice, it's through actions, it's through video, it's through photography, it's through and it's still through, you know, care and love and you know, being a genuine real person at the same time. Because so many people, I think, get trapped in this persona that they have to live this fake life on the internet and show people that they're doing okay and they're doing great, when in reality they have bills and they can't afford anything. They're living in crap, but they spend all their money on clothes and on, trips or what have you, a nice car, just to give this persona that they're doing better than you, or they're doing well enough to deserve a like. They're convincing you that they get a like. And that's where this world, this modern era, is getting confused. That wasn't the original intention of social media, and social media has altered since it came out, but I mean, don't do that to yourself. You're making yourself miserable for the approval of others, and you don't like what you're wearing, you don't like the car you're driving, you can't afford the car you're driving, most likely. You can't afford the house, the trips, the stuff, and why? Why do you do it? To satisfy others. Do you even like these people? And that's the real question. Are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for them? And I say that just to say that, honesty the truth will set you free. Honesty is the best policy. And that's something that's been engraved in me since I was a child. And I genuinely believe that still is what gets you places in the world, in the real world. And social media is, up and becoming the quote-unquote the real world. This virtual reality is reality. And so if you're not you in this quote-unquote reality, who are you? Or what are you doing? What the heck? So it's just some things that's been on my mind, is the importance of being honest and being truthful to people, and that means, if you're sucking, tell people you're sucking. I'm eating ramen noodles and, sleeping on my grandma's couch. That's real. That's real life. And that's true. And people genuinely appreciate that more than you realize. Because guess what? Chances are they're doing the same thing or something very, very similar and sucking. And they need to know that there's somebody else out there there's somebody out there that's just like them, and it gives them hope. And you could even gain respect from it. I don't know. With all this being said, I want to take a second and discuss the fact that, I set out on this little journey, this journey of entrepreneurship, of self-employment, and I've just only started. And, I'm already learning that the speed bumps that people endure, that go through and overcome, I've already kind of hit one where, people are resisting what I'm doing, that my dad's telling me I, need to do other things. And, some people don't understand. Some people don't believe in me. Some people just don't get it, and they won't get it until the successes come. And then they'll be like, oh, that's what you were doing. And the best way for people to truly understand what you're doing is to simply tell them. And not only tell them, show them with actions. But while I'm sitting here talking, I'll tell while I'm drawing. So, simply put, I'm going to do what I love. I'm going to do, my parents and maybe your parents were growing up in an era where, you didn't, in order to make money, in order to provide for family, in order to you basically had to suck it up and do whatever you could do rather than what you wanted to do. And that's what they're convinced, that that's the way that works. And it worked for them, but that was 1992, This is a totally different world. And in order to, they have this persona again that, I don't know, just whatever worked for me is going to work for you. And that's just kind of what I'm dealing with right now is I don't approve of your methods simply because that's not what I want to do, or that's not what I envision you doing, or that's not what I taught you to do. And it's a struggle. It's tough because, that this is my own father. This is my dad, and I respect my dad. And I he deserves every ounce of respect that I can give him. On the same token, he's not me, and he doesn't know what I'm doing. He doesn't understand art. He doesn't understand that this can make you money, and it will. It just takes time. It takes a lot more time than, straight out of high school, going to work, like working your little butt off and then climbing this corporate ladder and then getting stuck somewhere, finding this dead-end job that, you've been there for 20 years, but you're not going any further. Then, you stopped going up 7 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. And that's just that's the truth in it. And, it just, whatever, what have you. Why give up? So in my mindset is slightly altered in that, I'm grateful because there's people here. My wife's family is grateful. Is kind and generous and giving enough where they have allowed us to stay here in their place, in their house, and allowing me to focus on building my brand as an artist, building my voice, building my name, and allowing my wife to chase her dreams. And at all the same time, it gives my son the opportunity to know his family. That's a big thing. It's like my wife shares all these memories of, staying with, being with these people, and my son, instead of like hearing about these stories and wondering who these people are, he's genuinely going to know who they are. He's going to have his own memories of these people, and that's awesome. I love that. Whereas if we did exactly what everyone else does, and we got married and we have a kid, and well, it's time to be big boys and big girls and get our own job that we don't really like, but just get something to pay the bills and get off on our own feet, and it's whatever. That's fine and dandy. Buy a house, get a car, do all these things, but ultimately, are you happy? That's the big thing. It's like I'm on that pursuit of happiness right now. I was there where I, followed the path that was paved for me, and I joined the military. And, I passed the tests. I passed all the physical tests. I passed the written exams. I passed everything. And then I deployed, and then I got a good hard taste of what it's like to be a soldier. And then, yikes, man, I learned real quick that this ain't for me. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I ever want to listen to anyone ever again. I don't know if I ever want to take demand from anyone ever again. And that includes in the, I got out and I'm in the civilian world now, and, that includes boss man, if what have you. I don't know, just, I don't know exactly what this life is to entail. I don't know what is in for me. I don't know. I have no idea. No one knows. But what I do know is that if I follow in the path, if I follow in the footsteps that were paved for me, then I'm gonna get nowhere but exactly that spot. I'm gonna end up with a job, a dead end job, and lots of money, but and lots of stuff, but no time to enjoy it, no time to be with family, and no time to live. Really, I'm working. And that's a life I just can't get behind. And so I'd much rather build a life where I'm, yes, working, because that's what we're here to do. Again, we're here to work. But this type of work where I can be with my family. I can be with my son. I can watch him grow up. I can, if he has a ball game or if he has something going on, I can be there. I don't have to say, well, I have to work. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm going to be gone for a month due to a trip, a business-related trip or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? So where I'm at with this is I want to be in the same location with my son and with my wife, because I want to watch him grow up. I want him to be a part of, this journey. And if my hard work and efforts pay off, in which they will, he gets to see that, and he gets to see that his dad is working his butt off to have what we have, and he's happy. And that's the ultimate goal, is I want to be happy, so that in turn I can spread that happiness throughout my family, throughout everyone that we interact with, really. This portion of the video, the audio, the podcast, the whatever this form of entertainment, piece of content turns out to be, this is on a separate day. This is Thursday. That was recorded on a Tuesday previously when I was speaking. And I want to wrap this up really quick because I felt kind of aimless. I was feeling kind of down, depressed, and kind of aimless, Like, heck, I don't know. What I do know is that time has passed, time has healed that emotion, that instant, that in the moment I didn't feel myself. I felt down in the dumps, and honestly, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I spoke it out, I got it out of my system, and now I'm kind of motivated, It's Thanksgiving Day. I went and saw some family. We went and had a good meal, and now it's, everybody's in the bed asleep, and I'm headed home. And I don't know, it just kind of goes to show, like, life is good. And I don't know if I said it. I feel like I did say it. I felt like the time would pass, the situation would pass, and everything would be okay. Everything would be all right. And, well, it has, and that's awesome. So, and that's kind of the message that I was trying to send out, but didn't really have the words for, didn't really have the energy to give, to perform, I suppose, at that level. I guess I was battling some depression. I got some just internal things that I haven't quite healed completely. I just keep kind of sweeping it under the rug, and every once in a while it comes back and bites me in the ass, honestly. It just kind of comes and grabs me and just reminds me, hey, I'm here. So I gotta dig that up by the root so it doesn't become a problem anymore, and I don't really have to deal with this negative energy. That's the objective, is no more negative energy. That's to heck with that. Internal happiness is what I'm searching for. Anyway, I worked a bit more on that drawing. I got kind of, I was working more on it today. I worked some more on it yesterday. I let my wife scribble all over the page yesterday, and I've kind of incorporated into whatever. So I don't know. What am I going to say? What I'm going to say is that life is good. Life is good. And I'll tell you, I might actually throw this on top of the video too, like this is the voiceover. So I might as well throw this on top and call it done. So who knows? Anywho, what I want to say before I get out of here officially is that today's Thanksgiving, so give thanks, say thank you, be grateful for things, be grateful for the people around you, because there will come a time where you need something, or you're just at a point of your life where you're just down, and if you burn all the bridges in your life, like burn the bridges with people, you're just like, screw this, to heck with this, I got this, I got life. I don't need you anymore. If you act like that, like I have done that in the past, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. I did all that. Burned all these bridges. And then whenever it came time where, like, hey, I'm down in the dumps and I don't have anything, I got to start over from scratch. Well, guess what? Those people were not there because I cut them out of my life. And just warning you, be grateful for what you have, because it can get stripped away from you at any point. And hey, you could change your mind. Like right now, I'm fresh on this journey of I want to be a full-time artist. It's only been like a year. And yeah, I'm going somewhere with it. It's slowly but surely progressing into a career, a full-blown career. But, you know, just that, it wasn't even a year ago, my career path was totally different before I clicked and realized that, hey, this is what I want to do. And whenever I decided that, I had to start all the way over. Because I started all the way over like 3 years ago. And then I had to start all the way over again. You know, so that's, you never know. You never know. What I'm saying is you never know. Be grateful for those people that are willing to help you, and turn around and help those people and help people around you just for no reason. Just help and give thanks and say thank you. And I mean, that's the big message right now. So fight through your depression if you're fighting it. Fight through whatever emotional, mental battle that you're going through at the moment. This guy, man, I'm being blinded by this person. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is be positive, be uplifting, be motivated, and I'm learning personally that this is taking a lot longer than I would like it to. I figured I'd be a year in, and holy crap, I'm successful. I've got my store open, and people are walking in and out of this place trying to get my art, and you know, just scratching and clawing at the door on this Black Friday trying to get these little deals on my art. And realistically, it's not like that, because I mean, I have so much to learn, and I'm learning to be humble. I'm learning to be patient. I'm learning to be kind and gentle and caress. Be kind is essentially the big thing, is because I've learned that that's going to get you so far. You know, like I've had to resort. What am I trying to say? I'm repeating myself, so I'm going to get off here. That's my message. That's what I wanted to say. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope it's a little interesting. I hope the transformation, I guess, the motivational difference. Yes, this is the same person talking in this one frame of time, but it's two different points in my life, which is like 2 days ago. That's how I was feeling. And today, this is how I'm feeling. And so it just kind of goes to show you, if you're down, depressed, dumps, whatever, let it pass. Feel it, absorb it, and acknowledge the emotion. But don't dwell on that emotion, because it will pass. I'm going to get out of here. My name is Hunter. This is The Hunt Studio. Is this a podcast now? Am I starting a podcast? I don't know. I think I am. I don't know. It's definitely going on top of the video, though. And the video that I'm recording is also the drawing that I did while I was talking. Like, hey, I'm currently drawing. This is that drawing. Whatever it turned out to be, this is what it is. So, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to sign out. Peace.
Mommy thing. I was just tucking in my cold baby. No.
Say hey, Mama.
Baby, I was trying to talk to you about Asher.
Okay, baby, I'll bleep it out. She did a sweet. Did a draw. She drew on my drawing. All this stuff. That one.
Anyway.
Say hey.